Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. Hope you guys are all enjoying your Friday, the lovely sunny Friday in Newcastle. Looking forward to the weekend, and we've got an exciting video for you guys today. So I had to bring out the exciting background. You can just about see there, Newcastle train station. If I go around, you can just about see St James's Park up there, the cathedral on the hill where I am lucky enough to be heading later on tonight to go and see Sam Fender. Let me know down below if you are one of the lucky few or thousands to get a ticket tonight or tomorrow night. Cannot wait to be up there. If you see us, say hello. Should be great fun. And as I say, a great view of this lovely city centre. But we aren't here to talk about that, as lovely as it is. We are here to talk about James Maddison. The question was, how long would it take this summer window before we started talking about James Maddison? Well, the answer is 5 days before the window even opens, because technically the summer window doesn't open until the 14th of June. It is the 9th of June, so the Bladen races will be running over there, down on the quayside, all the way up through to Bladen later on today as well. So it's going to be a busy day later on in town, I'll tell you that. But big links coming out today for Fabrizio Romano. Other reports coming out that Newcastle are preparing a bid for James Maddison. And it's not just us, huge reports coming out that Spurs are also preparing a bid for Maddison. And I'm surprised, to be honest. I think all Premier League teams will be very interested in the player. And it's someone Newcastle have been linked with for a while. It's not just today we're talking about him. We have been talking about him for a while. We knew we would likely be talking about him again this summer window. I mean, we've seen it happen already. We've seen it with Sven Botman. Went in for him, didn't get him. Went in for him, and we got him. Went in for Gordon, didn't get him. Went back for him, and we got him. Is this the time where we go back in for Maddison and we do get him? And I hope so. You know, it's understood that Newcastle have been in talks with Leicester for a while. You know, it was thought that we could have maybe got him in the January window. Things weren't looking good for Leicester. They actually rejected 2 bids for Newcastle at the time. So this will not be the first bid we put in for Maddison. I think it'll be officially, possibly more behind the scenes, officially the 3rd bid we will be putting in for the player. And the question is, will they say yes this time round? Well, you'd imagine so. I remember back in the January window, you know, the end of the summer window when the links were coming out. He's now only got a year left on his deal. And now that Leicester are down, I think it's time for him to go. You can respect the reason why Leicester kept him last time around. They wanted to stay in the Premier League. And as much as they probably would have got more money for him then had they let him go than they will this summer window, they had to throw themselves at it. They had to try and stay in the Prem. You'd imagine the likes of Harvey Barnes, who Newcastle have also been linked with, will probably go this summer as well. Tillemans has already walked on a free. Actually, about a handful of Leicester players have all just walked on free. So maybe this is a chance for them to really have a total change up at the club, a total turnaround, new players in, players to get them back up to the Prem. And, you know, maybe we'll see them at the start of next season. But it is reported that Maddison will be leaving Leicester this summer. Now, the question mark is, where will he go? I think Newcastle have put themselves in a great position. We've been in talks with Leicester already. We've no doubt been in talks with Maddison already. The big question mark is the money side of things. And despite the fact that they have got relegated, normally you'd like to think that when a club goes down, it's easier to kind of take players away. And because he's only got 1 year left on his deal, the amount shouldn't be quite as high as it would have been last summer or in the January window. But when you have clubs bidding for a good player, the price just goes up. And let's imagine that Maddison was available for 10, 15 million. Every club in the Premier League would offer 10, 15 million. As soon as it becomes 30 million, there's only so many clubs who can pay that. 40 million. And that's reportedly the amount Newcastle are hoping to grab the player for. Spurs, however, who are being linked today, understood to be looking at an offer closer to 60 million, which is reportedly closer to what Leicester want. Now, obviously, in my eyes, Newcastle and St James's Park is the only place he should be going. We are the team with Champions League. We are the team who've been talking to him for a while. You know, even with my black and white sunglasses on, I think we are the most exciting prospect in the league right now. Obviously, Man City are very exciting as well. Arsenal have done great, but for a team that's kind of breaking in and so much excitement around the club, so much excitement around the ground, around the players, again, with my black and white glasses on, who wouldn't be excited about that? Compared to a Spurs side who didn't make Champions League, they're bringing in a new manager, there's question marks if their number one striker may not even be there next season. I'm sure if Maddison had a word with Harry Kane, you know, would he even tell him to go there? I honestly don't know, to be honest. But regardless, the worry is if Spurs offer to pay 20 million more than we do, then that's the offer that Leicester will accept. Unless Maddison puts his foot down and goes, well, look, I'm not going to go there. I want you to accept the Newcastle bid. The trouble is, with a summer window where I'm hoping we can go out and try and get some deals done quickly, as soon as you enter bidding wars, as soon as you enter situations where one club is holding out for more money than another, it's time, and it takes longer to get stuff done. We saw with the Anthony Gordon one, Everton put their foot down and said, we want 45 million. And we went, well, no, we'll give you 30. 1st of June, 2nd of June, 3rd of June, 31st of June. All right, okay, we better pay the 45. But my hope is, because we have that previous dialogue with Leicester, with Maddison, the minute they went down, Newcastle are on the phone. Hello again. Hello, it's me. Can we please have another chat about Maddison's availability this summer window? Can we start to get things moving very, very soon? As I've mentioned, we've seen it previously with other players. I think there's no reason why Ashworth, why Eddie Howe, why the guys weren't already on the phone quickly to try and make things happen. And you've seen how quickly we have moved for players. We saw how quickly the Isak deal just appeared. Now, a lot of that was going on in the background for quite some time that nobody really knew about, nobody really spoke about, and then boom, overnight, he's on a flight, he's at the training ground, he's getting his medical done. I think it's possibly too much to wish for to say that on the 14th of June, all of a sudden Maddison is spotted down at the training ground. I would like that, if that was a possibility, but I think even in the eyes of Maddison, you know, he's probably going to want to weigh up his options a little bit. I don't imagine one of the options is to go to Leicester, but if Spurs come in, are they going to give me 200 grand a week? You know, how much are Newcastle going to offer to play? And that's something that is also a factor. I think as much as I think we offer Champions League and a great prospect, it's not to say that Spurs can't come back stronger next season and also put a fight together. And if you're getting paid double the amount to go and do it, it's going to tempt any player. It's not the way it should be, and I think Newcastle are starting to get onto that. We've seen that Bruno's been heavily linked to a new 5-year deal. It's thought that he could well see a bumper to his contract. It's thought that Trippier could as well. Joe Linton's meant to be in talks of a contract. There's a few players there, and I think it's deserved. I think those players got us to the Champions League. I think in terms of how much Newcastle pay their players, probably compared to the other top 6 teams in the league, is probably lower. Certainly compared to Champions League teams, it will be lower. And you know, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, by the way. If anything, I think it's a good thing. I think it's good that we have been a little bit strict. We haven't just gone, right, Bruno's come in, get him on the 200,000. You know, we have tried to be a little bit careful. We are trying to be fair. And that's when a Spurs offers 200 grand and we go, oh, we can't afford it. You know, it's all within the restraints of FFP and how much we can actually spend. You know, there's reports today coming out Newcastle have got around 150 million to spend this summer alone, which I tell you what, ain't too bad. You know, if you think we've spent, 200 million kind of across the 3 windows since the owners came in, to go out and spend that again in a single window, yeah, it's pretty good. And that's not including players that we could potentially let go of this summer window when we sell Fraser off to a Saudi Arabian team for 100 million. That'll help the kitty a little bit as well. But in all seriousness, in terms of player wages to try and match potentially what Spurs would offer Maddison, would Newcastle go there? The minute you go there is when you now have to look at every other player in the squad and talk to them about how much they want. And that's not Bruno's going, well, I've just got us Champions League, and you're offering that to the first man who walks in the door. You know, so you've got to be a little bit careful there. I think it will change. I think it has to change, because as we are linked with these higher valued players, proven players who can come in and say, you know what, I think Maddison could probably go to most teams in the top 4. Yeah, he could. I think he could go to Man City. I think Man City would have him. He just wouldn't get as many games, as much game time as he would if he comes to Newcastle. I think Spurs are a team that are, in fairness, crying out for a Maddison. You know, I think they are in a decline. Whether Maddison could come in alone and save it, can Maddison come in and then Harry Kane pops off and do the same job? No. So there's a real question mark around Spurs, but you can see why they are probably willing to chuck more money at it than Newcastle are. And that's the thing, Newcastle will go out and spend the money if we deem it Correct. I just think the owners are careful. As we've now got top 4, as we've now got Champions League, you know, that money will cipher through into FFP for next season and the season after, and the TV rights and the money coming in. But for right now, it's given us a bumper this summer. But when the sponsorships start coming through, and speaking of sponsorships, the new kit, yeah, it's on its way, isn't it? It's been released as of now. I imagine Sam Fender will be wearing it later on. I presume they'll have it in the club shop for people to buy. So I don't think I'll be buying it tonight. I'll end up with beer all down the front of it. But maybe over the weekend, I can jump into the shop and do a video. So if you'd like to see a video of me heading down to the club shop, getting the new shirt in, be sure to let me know down below. But yeah, we will wait and see on Maddison. There's loads of teeny-weeny factors. I think the problem is that as we talk about these little factors of how much are they going to pay, how much are we going to pay, how much are they going to give them on a contract, how much are we, really what it comes down to is where does Maddison want to go? I think the wages will be a question mark for him. I think Leicester holding out for the more money will be tough. And if Spurs are offering 60 and we say, well, 45's our max, and Maddison's going, well, don't, like, accept Newcastle, just take the 45. Leicester will dig their heels and do it all summer. So yes, we'll wait and see. It's great to hear that we're interested again. The Maddison conversations have begun. All we can do now is wait and hear what happens next. Let's just hope that if something does go through, we're doing it quickly. It will be great to see Newcastle make some moves early this window, because it gives them, it's a short summer anyway because of the World Cup cutting in, and we're back in the middle of August. So really, we haven't got very long at all. The quicker we can get deals done, I think it will really help with the pre-season, get these guys in, get them playing with the squad. Let's get up and underway. So let me know your thoughts on the Maddison, the talk. Will we get them this summer? You know, there's players like Szoboszlai who are exciting a lot of people. People are saying that, will Maddison fit the system? I understand why people may have reservations after a Leicester season where they got relegated. You know, when a player goes and gets relegated, it's understandable why you may question that. But he's a quality player. You know, you look at the goals and assists that he got this season in a relegated side. Imagine just going, boom, there's an extra 10, 15 goals this season, Newcastle. That's the difference between a fourth and a third place, or a second place, or how far you can get in a Champions League season. So it's a player we're interested in for a reason. And I'm hoping this summer's finally when we get it done. Let me know your thoughts on Maddison. Let me know your thoughts on the new shirt. Will you be buying it? Have a great night. Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Big red button. Hope you guys have enjoyed the view that I've given today with a couple of trains going along in the background. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later.